welcome to another episode of This Week in F1. I'm not going to waste your time, let's get to this. Marko calls Lews injury after the crash with Verstappen a show. Well, now this is becoming like an episode of Days of Our Lives, isn't it? The Lewis John Black character has been hurt by Max's Bo Brady on the Monza track, and now Stefano will come back from the dead to exact his revenge. Yeah, mock me. I know you watched it, you scallum. Either way, point is this is getting worse than WWE storylines, and that old fella from Red Bull isn't making it any better. Helmut, the male Karen, Marko, has not been pulling any punches after Max and Lewis tried their hardest to see who could cause the best crash again, this time at Monza. Still think Lewis did a better job at Silverstone in the best crash caused category. It was a normal racing accident, said Marko, adding Verstappen had already got out when Hamilton tried to go back to get out of the gravel. The medical car saw that and drove on. And then a show is put on that poor Hamilton is suddenly injured. A show is put on, says the very rich old fella. A show. Flip, Uncle Marko, your boy's wheel was on Hamilton's head. On his head. Wow, and they say the grey wolves are supposed to have gotten wiser with age. Saudis to buy Formula One. Money talks, and apparently oil money screams louder than a banshee on roid rage. Formula One journalist Roger Benoit, writing for the Swiss newspaper Blick, is quoted as saying there could be even more Grand Prix in the Asian region soon. Why? Because the Saudis will soon take over Formula One from Liberty Media. Now, I haven't been able to find much in the line of confirmation on this, but the Saudis are always looking for investment opportunities, and there is much dough to be made in F1, so it certainly seems plausible. Once again, only time will tell. Things to get worse with Max, says Lewis Hamilton. Lots has been said about their latest coming together. Check out my own video on it, the link should be in the description. Lewis Hamilton has said that this will continue. We have to learn from our scenarios on track, and I don't have a history of these incidents. I wonder if Rosberg would agree with that. Ultimately, when you get away with things like that, then it's easy just to continue to do it. I can see Fernando Alonso grinning. A very thinly veiled hint aimed at Max Verstappen needing to get penalized in the opinion of the people's GOAT. That will probably not be ignored by the FIA because they tend to listen when the GOAT speaks. While most fans expect more nonsense between these two as the season heats up, hopefully no one gets seriously hurt in the peeing contest the fading GOAT and the wannabe have got going. Work starts on new Aston Martin facilities. It seems as if the technical personnel who objected to Team Stroll copying the Mercedes last year and calling it short-sighted have finally won the war over at Aston Martin. After results this year have not quite lived up to the pink Mercedes created hype of last season, Mr. Cash himself, Lawrence Stroll, I wonder if his mates are allowed to call him Larry. He doesn't look like a Larry, does he? He looks like a Lawrence. Mr. Stroll has continued his money-driven rejuvenation of the team. After earlier poaching numerous technical staff from all over, news has broken that construction has started on the new factory for James Bond's favourite team. The former Force India turned Racing Point turned Aston Martin have announced that after a COVID-related pause, construction has finally started on a brand spanking new factory at a site at Silverstone. Mr. Stroll has said, "Our new buildings reflect not only the scope of our determination to become a World Championship winning force, but also the scale of our growth and development as an organisation." Big words from a man who knows how to back up big words with big actions. Well done, Mr. Stroll. Apparently the facilities were basically still the same as those used way back when Jordan Formula One was still using them. Now that was back before an unfortunately bad GPS caused an asteroid to destroy all dinosaurs except Mr. Bernie Ecclestone. Quite a while back then. New deal for Charles Leclerc. On the horizon, that is. A new deal on the horizon. Not that he has any other proper options that would be worthwhile now, does he? Mercedes has two drivers, Red Bull would be daft to let go Perez now, and McLaren are on roughly the same level as where he already is. So the logical choice would be to sign a new deal and develop the quite promising little horsey, now wouldn't it? Leclerc is of course a graduate from the Ferrari Driver Academy and seems to have the legs on teammate Carlos. Smooth operator.
And for one last time, I will sing for you. Smooth operator. Smooth operator.
Sainz. So, continuing with the team as the obvious number one driver does make sense. The 2021 car is of course light years better than last year's piece of, well, you call it what you want to, it wasn't quick. And according to journalist Leo Turini, Leclerc will commit to Ferrari by signing a new contract until 2026. Thought for the week. Let's have a look at Psalms 139 verse 13 and 14. The psalm writer is speaking to God and he says, "For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb, and I will praise you. For I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well." So if you ever feel that you're not worth anything, if you ever feel you're a mistake, you are not, my friend. You are made in the image of a living God, and He has made you fearfully and wonderfully. So when the enemy comes and tells you you are worth nothing, you tell him, Psalm 139 verse 13 and 14 says, "I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Go away." Great stuff. May you be blessed. Of course, I have to say something. Ricardo, you are a genuine driver. We've all given you a lot of grief. Great job, mate. Great job. You deserved it. You put in a great race, winning at Monza, finally breaking McLaren's dry spell, breaking your own dry spell, and putting the papaya back on top. Much appreciated. May you be blessed, sir. And leaving you with some memes. Hope you enjoy them, and of course, to everybody listening, have a great week, have a great weekend. Please join us again next week. God bless and goodbye.